If you give away a $100 million prize, for example, to solve space travel or whatever, right? Then you might create $600 million in activity around it. And so it's actually worth it. All right, so we're going to talk about what you can learn from the XPRIZE Foundation. This is where Elon donated over $100 million to this organization. Funny enough, the founder of Lululemon, I think his name's Chip something. It's not Chip Kelly's the coach, but Chip something. He donated $101 million just because he wanted to beat Elon. And so, Neil, are you familiar with the XPRIZE Foundation?
I am.
Do you want to describe what you think it is?
Wait, isn't Sunny part of XPRIZE?
Exactly, yes.
So it's just like a global movement that is just leveraging their power and platform and creating tons of competition to do amazing stuff in the world.
Okay, so I'm going to share a story. And I went to an XPRIZE thing yesterday, and it was our mutual friend Sunny invited. And it was nearby in LA, so I went. It was like a 10-minute drive from me. So I'm like, okay, why not go? So the high level for the XPRIZE Foundation is it's a nonprofit organization that designs and hosts public competitions intended to encourage technological development to benefit humanity. Their board of trustees includes James Cameron, Larry Page, Ariana Huffington, and some other people here. So it was founded in 1996, and it was first started. They awarded a $10 million prize, blah, blah, blah. Now, yesterday
and they try to do like good stuff, like I don't know all of them, but I'm making it up. But like things like how to reduce how many forest fires there are, or things that will improve green tech or less pollution or whatever it may be.
Let me share my story, damn it. So yesterday I walked in, and who did I see? The first person I saw is Meta World Peace, formerly the artist formerly known as Ron Artest, the basketball player. I saw Seth Green, who's Entourage, and so I saw some celebrities there basically. But I was more interested in hearing what Peter had to say, and he thanked everyone for being there. And to your point, Neil, the wildfire ones is a big one, because the story here is, I don't know how much I can share, but let's just put it this way. When you want to stop a wildfire, Neil, what's the best time to stop a wildfire?
Before it starts.
Or right when it starts, right? Before it starts is ideal, but right when it starts. So now there's technologies being created where drones will spot when a wildfire is starting, and all the drones will fly there and they'll stop it, right? And so there's an XPRIZE out there for that. And to Neil's point, what they do is they create prizes for things that are important in society. So for solving carbon emissions or wildfires or solving education or hunger, these types of things, right? And Neil, you know what I didn't realize? What do you think happens? Let's say you created a prize for $1 million. What do you think happens? What is required to go win that $1 million?
I don't know. I'm assuming you create rules on how people can win the $1 million.
Sorry, I didn't phrase that question. What I mean by this is, let's say Neil and I, we wanted to give away a marketing prize. Maybe in the future we'll freaking do this, right? So we want to give away $1 million marketing prize. What ends up happening inevitably is that it starts to create a lot of fanfare and a lot of activity around that prize, because everyone starts to go for it. And so if you give away a $100 million prize, for example, to solve space travel or whatever, right? Then you might create $600 million in activity around it. And so it's actually worth it to create these prizes. I didn't think about that. I was like, well, man, I'm just going to make all these prizes and what's going to happen? I was very short-sighted, right? But it's like, no, if it's actually big problems and it's creating a lot of activity around it, that's actually a good way to move humanity forward. But from a marketing and business standpoint, it's like, yeah, if you're going to create a prize and it's a problem that's important to you and you want to get fanfare around it, it might be a way to go about doing things.
Yep. Look, if you have money to donate, leverage XPRIZE. There's some of the smartest minds in the world that participate in those competitions. I'm not smart enough to participate, but many of you guys may be. Or worst case, if you have cash, you get a lot of smart people in this world to help you solve your problems.
And I actually asked afterwards, I was like, hey, so we talked to someone that worked there. And so basically, if you actually end up investing in these prizes or putting money into it, you have first dibs to invest in these companies. And a lot of these are going to be world-changing companies. So for example, they did an XPRIZE for the first private team to fly a reusable spacecraft into space within 2 weeks. That's one. They had a Google Lunar XPRIZE, first team to land a robot on the moon and travel 500 meters. And they had an oil cleanup one. So a lot of cool things. And my point of saying this too is maybe you don't need to give away $1 million or $100 million. Maybe you can just do something for 25 grand or 50 grand or so to a cause that's important to you. And you can rally fanfare around it, and it's going to rally attention around it. And it might just work. It just depends on the business that you're in. I just think it's important to look at how things are done differently in different settings, different businesses, and then try to mold it to fit into whatever it is your goals are. And it might be good, it might not, but that's why we run experiments at the end of the day. Anything else, Neil?
Nope, that's it. Make sure you
All
rate,
right.
review this podcast. We really appreciate it. Give us more 5-star reviews. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to Marketing School.
Yeah, give us those 5 stars. See you guys later.